Margaret, hi, thanks for being here.
Thank you very much for the invitation. It's an honor being here. Thank you.
So let's dive in. Why EFT in Brazilian schools? Why did you decide to bring it into public schools in Brazil?
I've been working for over 13 years with EFT as a gold standard and optimal EFT practitioner. And few years later that I start teaching online courses for people that wants to be a practitioner. And today I have about 1,600 students.
Wow.
A lot of them are teachers, psychologists, and people that work at school that are interested to start applying EFT in the schools. And can I tell a little bit of Brazilian public schools?
Yeah, I'm curious.
The system is a lot different than I think most of the countries in the world. It's very difficult. The kids sometimes goes to school to have the only meal of the day, public schools, and a lot of anxiety because they have enormous problems at home, outside home, and in the school. Aggressive, anxiety. Sometimes they really go just to have the meal, and it's a huge problem. And then I start teaching and coaching my students to work in the schools with different ages. Different kids with different ages. I start having outside schools, kids and teenagers with a lot of problems like anxiety, depression, and even suicide attempts. And I went to public schools and worked with the staff, teachers, and the teenagers that were most anxious. And the results were amazing. And then I decided to coach very well, very much with my students, and the results were super, like less panic attacks, because teenagers had a lot, I don't know around the world, but in Brazil they have a lot of anxious and panic attacks, better grades, less anxiety, and the special schools. This is very good. Great results with ADHD kids and autistic kids. And then I start the project.
And let's talk about the project. How did you actually bring it into the schools in addition to these ways through the coaching of teachers and working with people who work in schools?
Well, they start already in their schools, the schools they work. And then I decided to make it bigger. And I got 20 of my students that were interested to be part of the project. And these students will make it bigger, go to other schools. And in the meantime, of course, we're going to grow over time to private schools that accept the project. But the public schools, I think, because it's a social project in the beginning, maybe it becomes something different, but it's a social project because I know that will make a lot of difference in this teenagers and our kids' life.
I see. So it sounds like you started off in a very organic way, working with people who work in schools, and they brought it into their classrooms, into their schools. And now you're formalizing it by bringing in a project where it's organized to keep spreading it in a more systematic way, if I understood correctly?
Yeah, because the students that I was coaching, they are in the school already. And the project, I'm gonna teach them how to prospect the schools, how to get the first contact since the beginning, calling, sending emails, to have an open door, because some of my students are not teachers and they are just practitioners. And then the way they have to approach a school from the beginning, calling, send an email, showing the paper, showing the results, to have an open door and start the project in a different way, like showing that, okay, I'm a practitioner and I can work here in the different way, like teaching the kids, the teenagers, or teaching the teachers, only the tapping, not going to the deep EFT, because going to the deep EFT, they need the online course, of course. They have to go deeper, like with the suicide attempts that sometimes happen. And then the practitioner will deal with that, not the teachers. The teachers can, in the project, I show them like you can use EFT. If you're teaching the teachers, you can teach the teachers like before tests, or if there is more anxiety because of a fight, the bullying. The results in the bullying were great because I coached them to work with the bully and the victim. And then sometimes the bully has to learn. And the results were amazing. They become friends. And the schools that I coach them to work with in the bullying, there's zero bullying.
Wow.
Zero bullying in a public school. It's something
Huge.
that it's huge because they have a lot of aggression because they have to be aggressive at home, outside home to protect themselves, fights, shooting, because sometimes they live in the slam. Today we don't call it slam anymore. We call communities. It's a difficult life for them.
That's amazing. I mean, even private schools, bullying exists, is the truth. So the fact that you're having such great success in such difficult conditions in lower income school communities is just incredible, very inspiring. So is there anything else you'd like to add in terms of results that you want to share with us?
You told about private schools. I want to grab a lot more results because the private schools, it's not that easy to get in. And then I want to show them more results, showing the results that teachers and the name of the schools, the results are coming to open the doors. And I totally believe that if they learn to have EFT as a tool or a mechanism to hold their anxiety and aggression, they can use EFT to manage their emotions in a positive way.
And I know that you've also got some books coming out, EFT for children, that can be used in schools and parents can also use with children.
Yes, I have 3 books in Portuguese. First will be in Portuguese, but over time we're going to translate for English. Is for 3 different ages. The first one is for preschools, to be scared for the boogeyman, there are no ghosts inside the closet, and work with the tapping to completely forget about it, and it works very well. The second book is for kids like 7 years old, 80 years old, when they start having tests at school and anxiety for the tests. And the third one is for teenagers, for bullying at school, working with the tapping.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Because there are many books in English, but as far as I'm aware, there aren't any in Portuguese that are specialized in, EFT for kids, and also that are appropriate for different age groups. And so, yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'll include links below when those go live so that people can check it out. And thank you so much for doing this work here and, groundbreaking work in schools in Brazil. It's just inspiring. I didn't even know that this was happening. And so when you emailed me and I found out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is just incredible. So I'm very excited and very inspired to hear your story and this project that's now unfolding and the wonderful results that will come from it, I'm sure. So,
and I hope this will make people all around the world starting projects in different schools too, because I think EFT can change the kids' life and to make better adults.
Yeah. And I mean, from the point of view also when we've got people who are more emotionally regulated and able to regulate emotion and aggression, I mean, when we look at education, it's not just for kids to learn and pass tests. It's ultimately, to educate the next generation. And how can we help make the world a better place? Well, giving them tools like this where they can regulate their emotions, their anxiety, their aggression. This is the foundation of effective social and emotional learning. So very, very exciting work here that you're doing. Before we wrap up, is there anything else that you'd like to add?
Well, if you let me, I told you that I coach some of my students, and I have a video with the results that one of the teachers, that she shows the results in ADHD and the anxiety, panic attacks. Is a video that is already made. If you let me, I can send you and you show the people the results.
Yeah, I can include the link in the comments box below in this YouTube video, and I can also include it on my website so people can actually hear teachers talking about how they're applying it, who you've been working with and coaching.
Well, I hope I can inspire people and teachers and practitioners all over the world using and making projects all over the world.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And one more time, it's an honor being here.